Georgia State has made it to the Sun Belt Conference title game versus number 20 ranked Louisiana. Good day, Internet. Hagan here with the season finale of the coach Charley Roy Dynasty. We are preparing for the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Not much happening in recruiting. Let's get the upkeep done and advance to the next week. We got right in Edward Cameron out of Montgomery, Alabama. We got a commit at center, Jalen Hodges from Decatur, Georgia. Another center, Earl Milanovich out of Cordova, Tennessee. Can Georgia State secure a conference championship? Let's find out and get into the Sun Belt Conference Championship highlights. Louisiana starts the scoring in the first with a 46-yard field goal to take a 3-0 lead. Following a Velu interception and a roughing the kicker penalty, Louisiana quarterback Ben Wooldridge finds Jacob Bernard for a 6-yard touchdown, giving Louisiana a 10-0 lead. Velu would answer with a beautiful touch pass to Talik Williams for the 14-yard touchdown, cutting the lead to 3, 10-7. Early in the third quarter, Wooldridge would find a wide-open Harvey Broussard down the seam for a 39-yard touchdown, giving Louisiana a 17-7 lead. Early in the fourth, Louisiana is up 10 when quarterback Jaron Gilmore makes a game-changing interception while returning the ball past midfield. Three plays later, Velu hits tight end Dorian Fleming on a post for a huge 23-yard gain. A few plays later, the Panthers find the end zone through the air thanks to Talik Williams' catch, making it 17-14 Raging Cajuns. Georgia State would convert on a 4th and inches with just 16 seconds remaining, and on 1st and goal, Freddy Brock would find the end zone, giving the Panthers a 21-17 win, and Georgia State would start the celebration as Sun Belt Conference champions. We will now advance to bowl season.
We're breaking into our coverage with a bombshell out of college football. Georgia State University has fired head coach Charley Roy, the larger-than-life figure behind the coach Charley Roy Dynasty, after allegations of a prostitution ring and deliberate game fixing has rocked the program. This is a dark day for Georgia State football. Coach Charley Roy, once celebrated for turning the Panthers into contenders, was fired today after an explosive investigation revealed he orchestrated a prostitution ring involving the university's cheerleading squad, funded by throwing key games. The games in question stunning losses to James Madison University and Arkansas State this season after an 8-0 start, both raising red flags for suspicious play calling. The scandal broke when an anonymous player uncovered damning evidence. He found a burner phone used by Coach Roy revealing texts with a woman known as Maria, who authorities say ran a prostitution ring supplying cheerleaders for secret booster parties. The text also tied Roy to a notorious bookie named Dominic Russo. Coach Roy pocketed $250,000 to tank these games against James Madison and Arkansas State. These so-called parties, held at a private Atlanta penthouse, were bankrolled by Roy's games-fixing profits, luring wealthy donors with promises of exclusive access. Georgia State's athletic director issued a statement tonight. Coach Roy's actions violate everything we stand for. He has been terminated, and we are fully cooperating with NCAA and FBI's investigations. The fallout is seismic. Fans are outraged, chanting outside the stadium while players are gutted. Assistant coach Colin Dustin will be named the interim coach, but the program's future hangs in the balance. This is a scandal that could haunt Georgia State for years.
Following the crazy scandal at Georgia State, we do want to finish detailing the season for you, so let's get into your 2024 Heisman Trophy winner, Will Howard out of The Ohio State University. KD McDaniel wins the Defensive Player of the Year award. KD McDaniel also wins Best Linebacker award. Georgia State has been selected to play in the Myrtle Beach Bowl against Bowling Green. Let's get into the highlights. In the first quarter, Christian Velu delivers a strike to Ted Hurst from 2 yards out to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. Early in the second quarter, Velu delivers another strike, this time to Kadarius Thompson, who falls into the end zone for the 32-yard touchdown and pushing the score 14-0. Georgia State's defense was also able to get some points of their own. Early in the second half, Lewis III would get the safety, making it 16-0 Panthers. Panthers would continue their domination. Freddy Brock would go 41 yards to the house, pushing it to 23-0. Bowling Green would show some signs of life in the fourth quarter. Senior quarterback Connor Bazelak finds R.J. Garcia III in the back of the end zone for their only points of the game after failing the 2-point conversion. Georgia State would recover the onside kick and run out the clock, and the Panthers would celebrate the program's 5th bowl win. Panthers finished with a school record 12 wins. In the first round of the college football playoff, Iowa State loses to Texas A&M 35-28. Oregon advances 52-21 over Miami. Georgia advances 38-30 over Missouri. And Oklahoma advances 24-17 over Michigan. That leaves us with quarterfinals of Texas A&M versus Boise, Oregon versus Ohio State, Georgia versus Virginia Tech, and Oklahoma versus Alabama. In the quarterfinals, Boise State beats Texas A&M 35-6. Oregon beats Ohio State 27-20. Virginia Tech beats Georgia 32-27, and Oklahoma beats Alabama 44-38, bringing the semifinals to Boise versus Oregon and Virginia Tech versus Oklahoma. And in the semifinals, Oregon beats Boise State 45-28, and Virginia Tech beats Oklahoma 38-13 to give you a national championship of Virginia Tech versus Oregon. And the Hokies of Virginia Tech win their first ever national championship 28-24 over the Oregon Ducks. Let's wrap up the historic and controversial Georgia State season by going through the team leaders. Christian Bailu, 2,700 yards, 25 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Freddy Brock, over 1,400 yards and 11 touchdowns through the ground. Your leading receiver was Taylake Williams with 833 yards and 8 touchdowns, and 3 other receivers went over 400 yards. The team's leading tackler was Kenyatta Watson. We all know Katie McDaniel led in sacks, and Kevin Swint still came around with 12.5 sacks. Gavin Pringle led the team with 5 interceptions. Katie McDaniel led the team in forced fumbles with 3, and Gavin Pringle led the team in defensive touchdowns with 2. Kicker Liam Rickman went 12 of 13 on the year from field goal and 26 out of 28 from extra points. Georgia State's first ever double-digit win season is haunted by the scandal of Coach Charley Roy. Players delivered a high note at the end of the season to give interim coach Colin Dustin his first ever win. We can't help but wonder what happens next for the Georgia State football program. Thank you all so much for tuning into this show. I had a blast working on it. This is the end as we move on to College Football 26. If there is something you want to see moving forward, please comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all on College Football 26.